Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 9 May 2024. Thursday night at 9 o'clock, it is time for a knife sale on the Apostle P channel, and a knife sale we shall have. It's a monster. We got 41 items for your consideration tonight. 38 knives, a watch, and some miscellaneous stuff. Before we get into the thick of it, let's do a little bit of housekeeping as usual. First up, I need you to be familiar with and agreeable to the terms of the sale. I'm going to post them on the screen for you in just a moment. You can pause it and read them, or you can jump down to the description. I'll also have them printed there. Also in the description at the very top above the terms of the sale, you're going to see 3 links to previous videos on the channel. The first of which is entitled A Primer for Buyers. That's a 38-minute expanded explanation of those terms of the sale. So especially if you're new to this weekly event, give that video a look. It explains how we do things and why every Thursday night. The second link, as always, is to my FAQs for Consignors video. That one pertains to you if you're interested in using this weekly knife sale to move along some of your collection. And then the third link is to the Rates and Services video for the Apostle P Knife Service, the original precision sharpening service for the online knife community. On that note, there will be no next day sharpening available this week. Tomorrow on Friday, I will be doing a lawn maintenance to get ready to leave for vacation on Saturday. So no sharpening tomorrow, but not to worry. If you buy a knife to be sharpened, it'll ship within 3 weeks. So between 2 and 3 weeks of current backlog, even with that vacation figured in. So not a long wait. Let's see. So in the all-important description, you have those 3 links, then the terms of the sale. Then at the very bottom, you'll see the reason you all came here tonight. The list of tonight's inventory with timestamps on the left, so you can jump right to the knife that you're looking for as you watch the video. And on the right, you'll see pricing. The number on the left of the slash will be the price of your knife as shown in the video. The price on the right as sharpened by the Apostle P Knife Service. And your sharpened knife, as I said, will ship in 2 to 3 weeks if you buy it that way. If you see the word sold in lieu of pricing in that far right hand column, that means the knife that you're looking at has been bought and paid for by its new owner. No need to send an "I'll take it" or an inquiry about anything marked "sold" all caps exclamation point. I think that's it for the housekeeping. Let's get the terms up on the screen for you, and we'll be right back with the sale. Here are the terms. All right, let's get to it, shall we? First up, got one left over from last week in the sale lot from How About the Truth, perhaps the greatest conservator of the finest in Great Eastern cutlery. This one, a leftover from last week, and that's just disappointing, I have to say, because this knife is exquisite. It is a model number 651111 Ben Hogan in genuine Stag, and it is number 26. I'm going to read you Steve's card. Feel free to pause and read if you'd like. The number 651111 EC Northfield Ben Hogan with end caps in genuine Stag. The shield comes separate as a hat pin. Do I have it upside down? I do. So the reason for that is that this knife was built during the era when Stag covers had shields, but the most beautiful covers Bill chose not to disfigure with a shield, so he shipped it separate. The COA is the special rear label on the shipping tube. All were serialized. This is serial number 26 and has the pick of the litter Stag. Gorgeous! This is the first example of all Ben Hogan's, extremely rare, one of only 26. Production totals are wrong, showing only 25 pieces. Guys, GEC Stag knives of this caliber are unobtainium. For those of you who think you don't like Ben Hogan's, this one will change your mind. So let's take a look at the knife. Here you go. oh my. Just take a look at that stag. It is beautiful in coloration, in depth, in figuring. So you got 4.5 inches of closed length, a single clip point blade with long pull and cut swedge, and that unexcelled etch, triple lined bolsters, engraved with the number 26, and then your plain end caps. Walk and talk is stunning. I call the centering very close on this knife. Let's see. Maybe we can see it better this way. There we go. Pull weight is about an 8, which I think a knife of this size really deserves. And let's take a look at the match. Nice. And I've told people who have inquired about this but not pulled the trigger, this is the nicest bent Hogan I've ever seen. Notice I did have to answer one question. It looks like because of the depth of the Stag that this pin, which is a cover pin, just holds the cover to the liner. Looks like it's missing, but it's actually just set very deeply. Because I don't think they wanted the spinner to disfigure the Stag. But everything is there as it should be. It is near mint to like new in tube. We ran it last week at $875, no takers. Dropped it to $795 for the weekend. This week, $750 like it is, $775 with my edge. The Ben Hogan number 65 from GEC. Next up, we've got fresh stuff from How About the Truth. This one is a number 772215 Northfield Yankee Barlow in smooth autumn gold bone. Special factory order for Mike Latham, one of only 60 pieces. These are, I believe, all steel liners. I've sort of tried to color match these bolsters to ones that I know are nickel silver, and everything appears to be steel on this knife. They ran them both ways at various points. One of the prettier examples of this handle material, Steve says. Here's your tube. And here's the knife. And he is correct. Look at that bone. Oh. Main spear, long pull, cut swedge, satin finish, no etch, as Mike likes to do it. The secondary blade, I think it's too big to call it a coping blade. I'm going to call it a sheep's foot. You've got 3 11/16 inches of closed length. Pull weight, about a 7.5. And the most important thing is that we have that Titusville Ironworks stamp on the pen blade. Blade centering, I'm calling close. So you'll see the main blade favors the right side ever so slightly. The secondary blade seems to be right down the middle. Condition near mint to like new in tube. Your price for this one's $625 like it is. $655 I sharpen both blades. The GEC Northfield number 77 Yankee Barlow in bone. That'll be important because there is a number 77 coming later in the sale. Next up. Oh, guys. I've never seen one of these. I've seen it in Farm and Field, but I've never seen it in a Northfield. The number 47P116, the P stands for Pruner and or pruning blade. This is a Northfield in natural Stag. It's the first year that Bill Howard stopped installing shields on Stag knives. And the rear label on the tube is the COA. This is serial number 36 of 82 pieces made. It was the pick of the litter. Some of the most gorgeous Stag found on any knife, period, ever. The blade has several super tiny stains or spots. These tiny spots are not rust pits, therefore the knife is very near mint. You'll not find Stag this beautiful, and the blade is, well, I've got it very close. Steve says perfect. Could be both. Here is the knife. Oh, guys. Take a look at that Stag. So this is a Viper handle with a Pruner blade. It is 3 13/16 inches closed. Take a look at that. When Steve says spots, they're like little shadows, and they're kind of hard to see. There is your match. It's beautiful. Pull weight is a 7. Beautiful walk and talk. And there's your centering. Condition will be near mint to like new in tube. Your price is going to be $750, $750 like it is, $775 with an ApostleP edge. That is, it's just amazing looking Stag. The GEC Northfield number at 47 Pruner. Next up, got a couple more leftovers from last week. This one is from ZT. Experience it. The knife inside is the 0562 Ti Hinderer, the all titanium version of the 562, stonewashed and chamfered titanium slabs make up the handle. It's a steel inserted titanium frame lock, Hinderer lock bar stabilizer, ambidextrous tip up deep carry clip. And how is the detent? It's beautiful. It flips great, but has no death lock. As you saw, fingers were on lock bar when opening. Still comes open just fine. You have a 3.5-inch blade in CPM 20 CV. The handle is 4 15/16. It, of course, is a ball bearing flipper. It has been lovingly sharpened, or basically a touch-up. It's pretty doggone sharp, but I'm going to give you a sharpening price anyway. Lockup is rock solid. It's right there. Blade centering is dead down the middle. Let's see, these are currently available online brand new for $312 ZT map pricing. We ran this one last week at $225, didn't sell, dropped it to $205 for the weekend. Still here. Let's go $190 like it is, $220 with an ApostleP edge. The ZT0562 Ti. Next up, another leftover from last week, this one from Medford. It is a Swift automatic in S45 VN, PVD coated, red hard anodized aluminum handle. It's a right smart little knife from Medford, I think. Nice deep red ano on that aluminum. Just a little tiny bit of corner burnishing from pocket carry. Has a right hand tip up clip. It's a button lock automatic with safety. Nice little ano on the titanium safety button. It deploys beautifully. Blade length is 3 5/16. Handles 4 3/8. It locks up like a Medford. It centers like a Medford, which is to say perfectly. Deploys nicely. Condition will be near mint in box. Currently available. I don't think I found one in this colorway, but that would have been $575 web retail. We ran this one at $425 last week. Dropped it to $395 for the weekend. This week, $370 like it is. $400 if you'd like it with an ApostleP edge on the S45 blade. That's the Medford Swift automatic red PVD. Next up, another leftover from last week. Made in the USA by Hinderer Knives. We have an XM18 3.5-inch slicer, tri-way, working finish. Not in Coyote Tan though, it's in OD G10. Must have been a scale swap. So here you go. 4 3/4 inches of ergonomic perfection in the handle. Beautiful milling. Working finish on the frame and blade. Right hand pocket clip tip up or down with fill tab. Ball bearings are installed in the tri-way pivot. Fingers on lock bar and it flips like a rocket. The blade is 20 CV, 3.5 inches in length. Appears to have been touched up. Lockup is rock solid and engages right there. And the blade centers like a Hinderer perfectly. Near mint in box. $425 web retail. We ran this one last week for $400, then dropped it to $375 for the weekend. It's still around. Let's go $350. That's a pretty doggone nice Hinderer, guys, for $350. $380 if you'd like my edge on that 20 CV blade. And make sure you get the description correct in your I'll Take It, because we have a couple more of these coming later. Hinderer XM18 3.5 slicer. Next up, another leftover from last week from Boker Plus. This is their OTF automatic version of the Kwaiken with a really cool handle treatment. Kind of an orange peel and then maybe a clear ano over that aluminum. It's just gorgeous. Right hand tip down, which looks like tip up, pocket clip. The handle length is 5 1/16. Button effort is just medium. Nice fidgety button effort. The blade is in D2, 3 5/16 inches in length. I'm going to call this near mint in box. It looks like it's got a little edge wear at the tip. It might have been touched up. These are out of stock. When they were available, they were $150 web retail. We ran this one for $120 last week. Dropped it to $100 for the weekend. This week, $85 like it is, $110 with my edge. The Boker Plus Kwaiken OTF automatic. Next up, another one from Zero Tolerance. Whoops. This is the ZT0545 in MagnaCut. And on the label, they want us to know that this is a ZT original design. And I kind of like this pocket knife a lot. It's kind of a Benchmade bug-out competitor, but with a little different execution, but super thin. I would say less than 3/8 of an inch in handle thickness. And then the blade, whoops, the blade is only 87 thou thick. It is in CPM MagnaCut. 3 3/16 inches of blade, 4 3/8 handle. It is a steel inserted titanium frame lock with lots of mill relief for lightness. Carbon fiber scale, bronzed pivot. Ambidextrous tip up deep carry shorty clip. We got a little paracord lanyard tied on. Your steel inserted titanium frame lock is right there. It is rock solid. Ball bearing pivot. Centering on this one is, let's see, hard to see at that angle. Try that. It's perfect. Oh, I do have a little death lock on this one. Let's see, move it over here. There we go. I probably squeezed it. Let's do that again. There we go. We'll call this near mint to like new in box. Web retail on these is $272. I think that's too high, as Kurt Russell said in used cars. These prices are too high. I think this knife should be priced at $195, and that's what it is. $225 if you'd like my edge on that MagnaCut blade. Guys, if you haven't had one of these in hand, you need to get one in hand. Beautiful knife. Next up, another ZT. We got a little ZT party going on tonight. This one is the ZT0562CF, not to be confused with the TI, because we have one of those also in the sale. Here you go. 4 15/16 inches of carbon fiber and titanium are your handle. It is a steel inserted titanium frame lock, has a Hinderer lock bar stabilizer, ambidextrous tip up deep carry pocket clip. It is a ball bearing flipper. Let's put our fingers on the lock bar and give it a flip, no problem. Blade on this one is CPM 20 CV, 3.5 inches in length. Your lock is right there. It is rock solid. Centering is perfection. Flipping action rocks. Condition on this knife, near mint to like new in box. Current map pricing or web retail for the 562 CF is $292. This one can be yours for $210, $240 if you'd like it with an ApostleP edge. The ZT0562 CF. Next up, we have another ZT, and this is not a Hinderer, it's not an Onion, it's not a Sinkovich, it is an original ZT design. It's the ZT0308 in coyote tan with a 20 CV blade. It is a big knife, and I like it. It's a bigger knife than I would normally carry, but it is a nice one. There is your 3D machined coyote tan G10 scale. Very robust pivot. Steel inserted titanium frame lock with an ambidextrous tip up clip. Same mill pattern on the titanium as there is on the G10 show side. Great flipper tab, very forward. It flips great even with fingers on the lock bar. There is your blade, 3 3/4 inches of 20 CV with a gorgeous stonewash. Serial number is, what does that say, 7696, I think. There's your lock engagement. Early but solid, rock solid. Nice droppy, shutty blade. Centering perfection. Like new in box. You can buy these brand new for $356. Look, you can see through the handle. I think that's too doggone high. Let's do this like new in box example for $250 like it is. $280 with an ApostleP edge. That's the ZT0308. Next up, we're moving from ZT to Microtech. The first in our Microtech bunch tonight is a SOCOM Elite Auto Tanto Edge, apocalyptic finish with a combo edge. There we go. Black, hard anodized aluminum handle, Track Tech inserts, right hand tip down pocket clip, button lock automatic, fires like a Microtech, gorgeous apocalyptic finish, which is like an acid stonewash, combo edge. Blade length is 4 inches, handle 5 1/4 including the glass breaker. Lockup is dead solid. Centering is down the middle. Let's see. Serial number might be hard to read on that apocalyptic finish, so I'll read it to you. 9637, born June of 2023. Like new in the box and a beautiful example. These are available for a web retail of $340 brand new. Let's do $225 on this one, $255 with an ApostleP edge. The SOCOM Elite single edge, I'm sorry, the SOCOM Elite Tanto edge, combo edge, automatic. Next up, be specific in your I'll take it, because we have another SOCOM from Microtech. This one, however, is a manual action elite single edge tactical standard. Black hard anodized aluminum handle Tech inserts. Right hand tip down clip in black. Ball bearings and thumb studs. Blade steel is M390. 4 inches of it in a two-tone configuration. A little bit of coating wear at the tip on this knife, I think you can see. You'll see it on both sides. Don't know what we stuck that tip into. Didn't seem to do any edge damage. Just a little coating wear. 4 inches of blade, 5 1/4 handle, including the glass breaker. There is your lock engagement. That is a titanium liner lock with a steel insert. I don't know if you can see the screws in there, but they are there. Droppy, shutty ball bearing action, and perfect blade centering. That's the 160-1T SOCOM Elite single edge manual. These are currently available for web retail of $340. Isn't that strange? The manual knives sell for more than the automatics. I don't know why. However, this one can be yours for $225, like it is $255 with an ApostleP edge. Microtech SOCOM Elite single edge model 160-1T. Next up, I love these little guys. It's another Microtech. It's a Troodon Mini Tanto Edge model 240-10. It's a stubby, robust OTF automatic. Black hard anodized aluminum handle. Standard Microtech pocket clip. Just 3 9/16 in handle length, including the glass breaker. Medium button effort. Nice little stubby Tanto. 204p is your steel. 1 31/32, so it's a California legal OTF automatic. Button effort is medium, 100% reliable. Serial number is 282, born at 10 of 2020. We'll call this near mint to like new in box. These are currently out of stock at a web retail of $300. Let's do $195 on this one. $230 if you'd like it with my edge on it. The Microtech Troodon Mini Tanto Edge OTF. Next up, got another Microtech, and I think it's our last one tonight. It comes in a signature box that is unidentified with a model number. It is not a signature series knife, but it is special. Don't you think? Yeah. It's the 158-10BH TE Exocet OTF automatic in the Bounty Hunter configuration, or we like to call him Boba Fett. It's essentially an OTF automatic money clip, right? That's what that clip is designed for. It is distressed from the factory. I will call the button effort medium with 100% reliability. The blade steel will be listed on any website for this knife as premium stainless steel. We really don't know. And I'm going to tell you, it looks to me like we got this blade a little warm. I did not polish this off. It's got a little brown cast near the tip. I don't know if it's staining or if they got it warm. Could that disappear in a minute with some flits? Absolutely. Blade length on the Exocet is 1 31/32, so it should be California legal. 3 5/8 blade. Serial number is 2754, born 2 of 21. I'm going to call it like new, wrong box, blade staining noted. I think I could still find these for $325 web retail. On this one, let's do $225 like it is. 260 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Exocet Boba Fett. Next up, back to Hinderer for a little bit. The knife inside this box is an XM18 3.5 S45VN Harpoon Spanto tri-way stonewashed bronze handle, but it does not have a red G10. Oh yes, it does have a red G10 scale. Sorry about that. There you go. And how does that red look with that bronze? I think right smart, actually. You're going to see just a little burnishing at the end of the pocket clip, maybe a little pocket carry. Let's try the tri-way ball bearing action. Look at that, just touch it off. And that big heavy blade flies right out of there. Nice, crisp, but not overbearing detent. 3.5 inches of Harpoon Spanto and S45. 3.5 inches in length, and then the handle's 4 3/4. Locks up right there and rocks solidly. Very drop shutty. Perfect Hinderer centering. We'll call it near mint in box. Out of stock at $425 web retail. Your price on this one's going to be $395 like it is. $425 with an ApostleP edge. The XM18 3.5 inch Harpoon Spanto from Hinderer. Next up, another Hinderer. This is an XM18 3.5 inch Spanto tri-way with battle bronze handle finish and not black G10. This one has red. Look at that. So the battle bronze is kind of an acid stone washed over a bronze anno, and it's also present on the hardware as well as the frame. I didn't notice there's a little streak, a little rub on that pocket clip. Might come off, might not. Steel inserted titanium frame lock Hinderer LBS. Ball bearings are installed in the tri-way pivot. Flips beautifully. Working finish blade in S45VN. 3.5 inch blade, 4 3/4 handle ish. There's your lock engagement, early but robust. Blade centering is Hinderer perfect. Condition will be near mint in box. These are out of stock at $425 web retail. Let's go $395 on this one. $425 with my edge, the Hinderer XM18 3.5 Spanto. Next up, we have a very interesting knife, guys. I'm going to tell you, before I tell you anything else, it weighs 16.64 ounces. It weighs a pound. It is the Halfbreed Blades LBF01 Bush Folder Blackout Edition. Yes, it is. The handle is 5 7/8 inches long. It is titanium scaled over blackened steel liners, and it's a stainless steel liner lock. You have a bow drill divot on both sides. You have a milled titanium right-hand tip-up pocket clip. You have a handle thickness, I think that looks like over 5/8 of an inch. The back spacer is also an impact device or a glass breaker. You can thumb it open, or you can flip it. I think it's on ball bearings. The blade steel on this one's S35. They have run them in other steels, let's say less high-end steels than this. I think they ran some Carpenter D2, like a CPM D2. I can't remember the designation. The coating on this is PVD. I think that's on the handle and the blade. Robust stainless steel locking leaf. 4 1/16 blade. it actually is really nice in the hand. And jimping in both positions. I'm not complaining. It just weighs a pound. Lockup is rock solid. Not exactly drop shutty. Centering is very close. We'll call it near mint to like new, no box. Out of stock at $4.95 web retail. Can be yours for $3.50 like it is, $3.75 with an ApostleP edge. The Halfbreed blades, LBF 01 Bush Folder Blackout. Next up, Spidey time. From Taiwan, we got a Sage 5. The 5th in the Sage series in knife maker homage designs. This is an homage to Sal Glesser with the compression lock. You got 4 3/16 inches of peel ply carbon fiber over G10 laminate. You got an ambidextrous tip up deep carry wire clip. You got a leaf shaped blade with an opening hole in S30V. Blade length is 3 inches. Lockup is dead rock solid. It is a free dropper. And it's perfectly centered. Deploys beautifully. It is near mint to like new in box. These are out of stock. When they were available, they were $150 web retail. This one can be yours, $120 like it is. $145 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Sage 5 from Spyderco. Next up, another Spidey, and it is not a Persistence. Wrong box. It's a PM2, Paramilitary 2. This is the Bento Box exclusive S45VN blade and Diamond Arc Forest Green G10. 4-way polished clip. Got a little bit of evidence of pocket carry. Whoops. It's better than that, I thought. All right. I'm so not right-handed. Solid lockup on the 3 7/16 inch blade in S45. Not quite a free dropper, but close. Blade centering is dead down the middle. It has been used. It has been sharpened. You know what? That isn't a bad edge. I'm going to give you a sharpened price, but don't think it needs it. You can tell a little bit of oil from the hand is soaked into that Diamond Arc milling. So it's near mint, wrong box. Has been sharpened. Long out of stock. Your price on this one's going to be $195 like it is. $225 with an ApostleP edge. That's in your inventory as, and be specific because we have several pair of twos tonight. So it's pair of 2 S45 Diamond Arc FG G10. Next up, we have quite a cutie from Spyderco. It is the Dogtag carbon fiber in black, which is a pretty rare version of this, I think. Look at that. Interesting carbon fiber over G10 laminate. Scale, and then, yeah, there's the business side. So let's see. S30V. The blade is a double detent slip joint. What is that, a stubby Warncliffe? I don't know. Just 1.25 inch in blade length. Phosphor bronze washers and an opening hole. So can you sweep it? You bet. DLC coated blade. I'm going to call it near mint to like new in box. These are $82 web retail. Let's see, does it have any blade play? No. The centering is irrelevant. These are $82 web retail Let's do 55 on this one, double nickels like it is. 75 if you'd like my edge on it. I can't remember who's the designer. Is that a... It's a Serge Pachenko design. Let's see, there you go. So 55 like it is, 75 sharpened on the Dogtag. This next one is a really special little knife. It's a Spyderco. It's the McBee plain edge. And I couldn't find these in DLC blade anywhere, but we have one here. Just check out the detail. It's a McNeese design, chamfered and perforated show-side titanium scale in black, lanyard tube, standoffs, little tiny Spidey clip, a non-steel inserted titanium frame lock, must be from Tai Chung. It is. I think it's on phosphor bronze. Kind of hard to get a hold of. Blade length on the McBee is 1.5 inches. The steel is CTS XHP. The handle length is 2 3/8. Just look at the detail in the pivot, in the lock bar where your thumb goes. Action is beautiful. The lockup's beautiful. The centering is perfect. Condition will be near mint in box. Very slight burnishing on the clip is all. These are 187 map in stonewash. I could not find the DLC knife anywhere. They're out of stock. Let's do 120 on this one. 145 with an TheApostleP edge. The McBee from Spyderco. Next up, we have a Spyderco and an MBK pouch. The knife is the Swayback. Oh, in that beautiful tumble polished CTS XHP, 3 9/16 inches of blade length, kind of a bullnose Warncliffe, beautiful, blasted and tumbled titanium handle, nicely crowned. It is a steel inserted titanium frame lock. It is on washers. Pocket clip will be tip up right or left hand. Let's see. If you're a lefty, I think you could Spidey flick that if you got good at it, which I'm not. There's your lock engagement, robust and rock solid. Blade centering, perfection. The handle is 4.5, so very efficient blade to handle ratio. So we'll call it near mint to like new, wrong pouch. These are out of stock. When they sold out, they were selling them at $195 web retail. Sold listings on eBay ranging between $175 and $247. Let's do 160 on this one, 185 with my edge, the Swayback from Spyderco. Next up, we have a Mylar Ziploc baggie from Cerberus. It says we have a set of scales in OD Nat. I'm not sure what that is. They're not that. They are Cerberus scales, but they're not that. They are burlap micarta. I don't know if that's OD or what color. I think it's brown. Like new in the box, and the Cerberus maker's mark. You know what? I think that says RGT. Let's change that and call these RGT scales. Anyway, let's sell them for $60. And they look like they've never been installed, by the way. $60 for the burlap micarta scales for the Parrot. Next up, we ran this knife, I don't know, 2 months ago, and I got more in from the same consignor. We didn't sell it. We're going to try to sell it from ADV Tactical. We have the Saw Butcher fixed blade, no box. A beautiful Kydex sheath with a tech lock. Look at that. That, my friends, is 6 inches of S35 VN, beautifully finished. Gorgeous fuller. Sawback. I didn't really detect any offset. I'm not sure, other than notching, whether that saw is going to help you a lot. The scales are coarsely peel-plied black G10 affixed with screws. 2021 production. Really, really nice in the hand. Could you chop with that? I think you could. Condition will be, like new, no box. These are discontinued and out of stock. When they were available, they had a web retail of $425 web new. We're going to try $225 on this one. $260 with my edge. It's the ADV Tactical Saw Butcher fixed blade. Next up, if I were right-handed, you guys would never see this knife. From Tactile, we have a Rockwall thumb stud stealth scales magna cut blade at 61 Rockwell. Look at that. So that stealth finish is done in Cerakote. Those are finely milled titanium scales, red backspacer, red hardware, right hand deep carry tip up pocket clip. Look at that little snapper. I do not know the blade coating, but it's black. Blade length is 3, handle is 4. Liner lock engages thusly. It is a stainless steel liner lock. Super nice action. That knife just works. That's Benchmade 940 flickability is what that is. Beautiful. Centering is perfection. Near mint in box. These are actually available at eKnives right now. That's the only place I could find them in stock. They're $3.99 with that magna cut blade. I think that's too much money. Let's just do $2.95 on this one. $3.25 if you'd like it with my edge on it. The Tactile Rockwall Thumb Stud Stealth. Next up, it's the Rob's Pick from ProTech. It is a tactical response collab, the TR3X1 for Smoky Mountain, with the gray fish scale handle, the gray blade, and hardware. I see it as a blue-gray. Isn't that gorgeous? Man. Button lock auto. 154 CM blade. Sexy little swedge drop point. 3 7/16 inch blade. 4 5/8 handle. Rock solid lockup. Perfect blade centering. ProTech action. I see very, very slight clip burnishing right here. So near mint in box. Out of stock at $199 web retail at Smoky Mountain. Let's do $175 like it is, $200 with my edge. The ProTech TR3X1 automatic. The Rob's Pick tonight. Next up, we have a giant mouse, Ace Grand, in OD canvas micarta. No box with this one. So here's what you got. 4 9/16 inches of handle. Jimped back spacer with a lanyard hole. Tip up ambidextrous deep carry wire clip. Gorgeous clip point blade in L-Max. 3 5/16 inches in length. Almost a harpoon clip. Opening hole. Stainless steel liner lock, locks up early and super solid. Phosphor bronze washers on this one. Perfect centering. Very near mint, no box, out of stock at $225 web retail. This one can be yours at $160 like it is, $190 with an Apostle P edge, the giant mouse, Ace Grand. Next up, I got one from GEC, and it's going to be a steal because it don't have a tube. You're going to get a nice vinyl faux fleece lined pouch. But for this knife, you don't need a tube. It's a number 15 Urban Jack. OD canvas micarta, all steel construction. Got a little paracord lanyard going on. We have a single spear. Nicely patinaed. Let's see. Model number is 1522221. Single spear, but that's not all. You got a comb. What's it called? Bar tool is what that says. And it is a one-armed opener, I think. Let's see if I can do it on my pants here. Yep, sure can. Pull weight, 6.5. Walk and talk, beautiful. Centering is close. Closed length is 3 7/16. We'll call it excellent. No tube. Sold listings on eBay for these between $145 and $185. How about we just do $1.25 for this one? $125 like it is, $145 sharpened. The GEC Titty Ute, number 15 Urban Jack. Next up, I have a plastic Ziploc that houses a Northwoods Leatherworks hemlock wallet in blue, 2 7/8 wide, 3 7/8 tall. So you have a center compartment and then you have 2 side compartments. Gorgeous blue. I think these sell for like $100 new. Let's do 60 on this one like it is. No need to sharpen. Northwoods Leatherworks hemlock wallet in blue. Next up, we've got a leftover stuck in the middle of the pack here. It is a number 15 Ancient Barlow from the second run, the 2018 run. Model number 15-118 in muscadine saw cut bone. Special factory order for Charlie Campagna. You're going to get the Campagna button. I'm not sure what's going on with that 3-legged woman there. I don't know. Oh, look at that, guys. Yep, it's like the Boba Fett of GECs, right? Gorgeous muscadine saw cut bone. Distressed stainless steel bolsters. Pins are exposed on purpose. There is your Charlie spear that Bill did not want to give a number to because he thinks it's ugly. The Campagna family crest etched on the blade. 3 7/16 closed length. 7 pull. Beautiful walk and talk. Centering's dead down the middle. Like new in tube. There's one of these currently listed on eBay as of the shooting of this video for $479. Buy it now. We ran this last week at $350. Got no takers. Dropped it to $320 for the weekend. Still here. This week, $295. What a steal. $315 if you'd like my edge on it. That's the GEC Titty Ute, number 15 Ancient Barlow in muscadine saw cut. Next up, we have another one from Great Eastern, the Northfield Unexcelled line. A model 771116, Yankee Barlow in bone micarta. There you go. 3 11/16 closed length. This bone micarta is polished, which Bill doesn't like to do because it gets black in the micarta from the polishing compound. So you'll see some flecks. All steel construction on this one. Single clip point blade, long match striker pull, and a cut swedge. SFO for Mike Latham. Great walk and talk. Centering, I'm calling very close. Let's see. Close enough. Near mint to like new in tube. Your price, $395 like it is, $415 with an ApostleP edge. And that'll be in your inventory as GEC Northfield number 77 Yankee Barlow micarta. Next up is our last GEC tonight. It is a Titty Cutlery Barlow number 14. Model 141122 in goldenrod saw cut bone. It is an attainable TC Barlow. They made a bunch of them. Look at that goldenrod saw cut. Beautiful. All steel construction. 3 1/16 closed length, single clip blade, about a 6 pull, long pull, cut swedge. Good as gold, Titty Dutch. Beautiful walk and talk. Centering, I would say, favors the top as you're looking at it very slightly, very close. Like new in tube. Your price, $200. Like it is, $220 with my edge. The GEC Titty number 14 TC Barlow. Next up, we have what I'm calling the Case Knife Care Bundle. Everything comes in this Ziploc. You're going to get a large polishing cloth. You're going to get 2 WR Case & Sons, I think it's a faux suede, pocket slips. You're going to get 1 large case belt sheath. This will fit your shark tooth, large folding hunter. You're going to get a can koozie, stay sharp. And you're going to get a tube of case paste metal polish. How about that? All of it. It's insane. $30 for the whole shooting match on the Case Knife Care Bundle. Next up, it's a Spyderco, and it's kind of a save me from myself moment. It's a Delica WC for Horn Cliff. Black FRN handle. 4 1/4 inches long. 4-way black Spidey clip. Warncliffe blade in VG10. 2 7/8 inches in the length. Full flat ground. Rock solid lockup. Nice action. Centering is going to favor the top as you're looking at it. Close, we'll call it. Like new in box, these are available brand new for $95 at your favorite web retailer, or just buy this one. $75 like it is, $100 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Delica FFG Horny from Spyderco. Next up, got a little run of paramilitary 2s coming up. First one, it just says BLK. We're going to call it the Para 2 Murdered. Black G10 handle. Black 4-way clip. Never been moved. Mostly black hardware. DLC blade in the OG steel S30V. A very near free dropper with dead centering. Let's see. I promise. Yeah. and lockup is dead rock solid. This knife, even though it's older in S30V, it is super brand new. They are discontinued and out of stock in this blade steel. Let's do 150 like it is. 175 with an ApostleP edge. Spyderco, pair of 2, murdered. Next up, we have twins. They're going to be broken out separately in your inventory list, but they are identical and indistinguishable. So what we got, and they'll be listed as Spyderco pair of 2 blue M390 number 1 and number 2. They're both minty brand new. They both have perfect action, centering, and lockup. So you don't even have to specify which one when you say I'll take it. Of course, they are dealer exclusive for bento box. Notice the clip has never been moved. Super flicky, super free action, and a perfectly centered blade on both of them. So hard to see. Yeah. So if you don't know, 3 7/16 blade, 4 3/4 handle, compression lock. Out of stock at bento box. When they were available, they were $237 web retail. And because we have a softening market, you're not going to pay $300. You're not even going to pay the original web retail. How about $225 like they are each, $255 sharpened. Spyderco pair 2 blue M390, got 2 of them. Next up, ooh, we got another OG P2. You got to know by the model number that means a DLC blade and a digital camouflage handle. That's right. There you go, boys. Good looking digicam on this one. Clip never been moved. Super minty. Super flickable. Not quite a free dropper, but eminently flick backable. DLC coated blade with a nice fingerprint on it. That'll come off. S30V. Been a few years since they made these. This one's been just sitting in a safe, waiting to get resold. 3 7/16 blade in S30V. Rock solid lockup. And how's the centering? How about perfect? Discontinued and out of stock in this blade steel. Let's do 150 like it is. 175 with my edge. Spyderco pair 2 Digi DLC S30V. Next up, from Spyderco, we had one of these last week and we got another one. It's an Hinderer FFG in burnt orange handle and Hap 40 blade. There you go. I love the burnt orange. It doesn't matter if it's G10 or FRN. Bright hardware, tumble polished clip. The handle is 5 inches. The blade is 3 13/16 of Hap 40 clad in SUS 410. I think you can see that line of demarcation. Lockup is dead rock solid. Action is, I don't know, it's pretty good. You could probably loosen the pivot a little. Centering is perfect. They're discontinued, not a stock, although Country Knives has them available for $192. This one can be yours. $125 like it is, $155 with my edge. That's exactly what we sold the twin to this for last week. And it sold very early, so that must be a good buy. Spyderco Hinderer FFG burnt orange and Hap 40. Next up, you're going to have to save Heidi from herself on this one. It's a cold steel mini tough light, but it is not in black. Look at that pink. How about that? It's almost a purpley pink. Little tiny thing. Os 8A blade, 1 7/8 inches in length, but a lot of it is finger choil. Now this does have some edge wear, by the way. You're going to want me to sharpen this. The triad lock. The handle is a 3 1/8. Right hand tip down only. Blade centering is beautiful. Very close. I think it favors the right very slightly. They're discontinued and out of stock in pink. They were $26 web new when you could buy them, but you can't. So I'm selling this knife for $20, guys. And it's going to cost me $10.40 to mail it priority. Do the math. $40 if you want my edge on it. That is the Cold Steel Mini Tough Light in pink. That brings us to the last item in tonight's sale. This is my watch that didn't sell last week. Thanks a lot, guys. It is an icon from Seiko. It is the SARB033. It is an Omega Aquaterra for 1/10 of the price, guys. And it's a Spyderco Legend. Look at that thing. Better give it a little shake. Although you can manually wind this. Okay, just look at the dial, would you? Look at the inky black dial. The applied indices. And by the way, guys, all you watch YouTubers, the singular of the plural indices is not indice. It is index. Just so you know. Drives me crazy. Anyway, applied indices. Framed color matched date wheel. Beautifully chamfered Dauphine hands. The needle seconds hand. Great loom on the end of each marker. A superbly finished case. A display case back showing off the 6R15 automatic movement. An oyster style bracelet. There's a little dust rash on the backside, but who cares? The case is almost unmarked. You might be able to detect some very slight hairlines, but they are so slight. These have been discontinued for what, 5 or 6 years now? Just so you know, 38.5 millimeters-ish diameter, 45 lug to lug, 12.5 thick, 20 millimeter lug width. These will generally sell between $500 and $700 on eBay or on your watch websites. This is a really fine example, guys. We ran it at $525 last week. I dropped it to $495 for the weekend. And I'm pretty sure this is going to be a last and final price this week. $450. And all the spare links and all the papers are in the box. Just a gorgeous watch. A gorgeous watch. Let's put it on the wrong hand here for you guys. There's how it wears on my roughly 7-inch wrist. Just a beauty. That, if I can get it off, brings us to the end of another weekly knife sale on the Apostle P channel. Hope you enjoyed it. I sure did. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the word is sharp. Now commence to clicking.